Hey there, and welcome. Today, we're going to dive into a topic that, let's be honest, can be kind of stressful for any LPN, no matter how long you've been on the floor: dosage math. But stick with me, because we're going to make it way simpler, a whole lot clearer, and just less scary. So, does it? Does the idea of converting units and moving decimal points around make your heart beat a little faster? If it does, you are not alone. It's a super common anxiety in nursing, but we all know that getting it right is absolutely critical for our patients. The good news, it really doesn't have to be that hard. And that quote really sums up our whole plan for today. We're not going to throw a bunch of complicated formulas at you. Nope. We're just going to break it all down into small, easy to digest chunks. Things you can actually remember when you're in a hurry and under pressure. Okay, so to get started, let's build our foundation. And the great thing is, we only need to really, truly understand two core units of measure. Seriously, if you can get these two down, you've pretty much got the basics for almost every single dosage calculation you'll ever have to do. First up, we've got the gram. Simple enough, right? This is our base unit for weight. So anytime we're talking about the amount of actual medicine in a solid pill or a powder, we're talking about its weight. And it all starts with the gram. So what even is a gram? It can feel a little abstract. Well, think about this. 1 gram weighs about the same as a single medium-sized paperclip. That's it. It's not heavy at all. And keeping that little paperclip in your mind can really help you visualize what we're talking about. And our second base unit is the liter. Now, this is totally different. We're not talking about weight anymore. We're talking about volume. You know, how much space something takes up. This is what we use for things like IV fluids or measuring oxygen flow. Now, in practice, you might hang a big 1-liter bag of IV fluids, but the actual dosage of medication that you're calculating is usually in a much, much smaller unit, the milliliter, or ml. So we have to be comfortable with both the big guy, the liter, and its smaller cousin, the milliliter. All right, so we have our base units: grams for weight, liters for volume. Now let's talk about scale. Because in medicine, the range of measurements we use is just massive. And that's exactly why being able to convert between them isn't just a math problem. It's a critical, life-saving patient safety skill.
Just look at this to see what I mean. We can go from a kilogram, which is, about the weight of a loaf of bread, all the way down to a microgram, which is this impossibly tiny fraction of a medication. Moving between these is something we do all the time, and getting it wrong, well, that's just not an option.
And this is why it's so important. There is zero room for error here. A single misplaced decimal point isn't a small mistake. It can mean a 10 times, 100 times, or even 1,000 times overdose or underdose. When it comes to medication, accuracy is everything. So, how do we make sure we're accurate every time? Well, you've probably heard of mnemonics to help with metric conversions, but the classic one is kind of cluttered for what we need. It's time for an upgrade, a tool built just for the units that nurses like us use every single day. You were probably taught King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk, right? And yeah, it works, but look at all those extra steps in the middle: hecto, deca, deci, centi. When's the last time you used those for a dosage calc? Our focused way cuts all that noise out and adds the one we really need: micro. And here it is. This is going to be your new best friend for dosage math: King Basil Melts microphones. That's it. It's simple, it's kind of silly, and it has every single unit you need in the right order. Say it a few times: King Basil Melts microphones. It's easy to remember, right? So let's just break it down real quick. King stands for kilo, Basil is for our base units, so that's our grams and liters, Melts is for milli, and microphones is for micro. Kilo, base, milli, micro. That's the whole system, the only 4 you really need to worry about. So now for the best part. Let's see why this mnemonic is so powerful. It's not just about remembering the order, it's about the super simple math behind it. This is where moving that decimal point goes from being a headache to being incredibly easy. This right here is the golden rule. This is the secret sauce. With King Basil, every single jump between units, from kilo to base, base to milli, or milli to micro, is always a 3-space jump for your decimal point. Every single time. No exceptions. So it all boils down to just 2 simple rules you have to remember. If you're going from a bigger unit to a smaller one, like grams down to milligrams, you move the decimal 3 places to the right. And if you're going from a smaller unit up to a bigger one, like micrograms up to milligrams, you move it 3 places to the left. That's the entire system. Okay, let's see it in action. Say we need to convert 1 gram into milligrams. So we ask ourselves, are grams bigger or smaller than milligrams? They're bigger, so we follow rule number 1. Move the decimal 3 places to the right. 1, 2, 3. And boom, 1.0 gram becomes 1,000 milligrams. See? Simple. All right, let's try one going the other way. We've got 2,500 micrograms, and we need to know how many milligrams that is. Okay, so micrograms are smaller than milligrams, so we're going up the scale. That's rule 2. Move the decimal 3 places to the left. So we go 1, 2, 3. And 2,500 micrograms becomes 2.5 milligrams. Perfect. So when it's all said and done, the number one thing to take away from all this is your new mnemonic. The next time you see a conversion problem, just take a breath and say it to yourself. King Basil melts microphones. That gives you the order, and from there, you just have to remember that simple 3-space jump. With this simple, focused tool, you really can approach every single calculation without that anxiety. Instead, you'll have the confidence that comes from having a method that's clear, reliable, and just plain works. You've got this.
King Basil melts microphones.